body and spirit for our first hymn, our opening hymn, Gather the Spirit. Patrick. Gather the Spirit, harvest the power. Our separate fires will kindle one flame. Witness the mystery of this hour. Our trials in this light appear all the same. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again. Gather the spirit of heart and mind, seeds for the sowing are laid in store, nurtured in love and conscience refined, with body and spirit united once more. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again. Gather the spirit growing in all, drawn by the moon and fed by the sun. Oh, winter to spring and summer to fall, the chorus of life resounding as one. Yeah, gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again. Little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah, this little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Don't you know about it? This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it everywhere I go. Don't you know? Everywhere I go, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Don't you know about it? Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, building up a world, building up a world. I'm gonna let it shine. Don't you know about it? Building up a world. I'm gonna let it shine. Don't you know about it? Building up a world. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, this little light of mine. Yeah, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Don't you know about it? This little light of mine. Oh, boy, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
All right, UUCA, we are keeping it in the family today. Thank you so much, James Richards, my spouse, and the UUCA band, bringing that soulful connection today, yes? Well, welcome to this Sunday. I am Reverend Terrence Strauss. I use she, they pronouns, and I am your senior minister here at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta, where we are transforming lives through courageous action and soulful connection every day and every way. Amen. And welcome to you who have traveled from across the city to be here. We welcome you, and we also welcome you who are joining us online from around the world. We are so glad you are with us. We are so glad you are with us this morning. Welcome. On a Sunday such as this, I have to tell you that it feels like the right time to just take a moment to proclaim our shared beliefs and shared UU values. Our common Unitarian religious roots, which our high school youth group discovered and learned about just a couple of weeks ago on their UU heritage trip to Boston, well, they are tied up with the foundation of our national values as a country. Did you know that? See, at the heart of our faith tradition is this core tenet. We tenaciously affirm and uphold freedom of belief, that each person has the right to follow the religious or spiritual path where they find truth and meaning. Amen? And we affirm that religious pluralism, in fact, strengthens our country, the United States of America. That is how this country was founded, and that is also tied up with the foundations of Unitarianism in America. As part of this personal and collective freedom, we affirm and we uphold the right for every person to have a voice and a vote that matters. And a vote that will make a difference in this democracy. And may we all resist in every way an authoritarianism that seeks to remove these foundational values and freedoms. May we work tirelessly towards deeper understanding and deeper affirmation of one another. And I want you to hear that you are welcome. Gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, on the rainbow spectrum of gender, you are welcome here in this congregation. You are welcome with your ancestry, your racial identity. We are a multicultural, multiracial, multi-generational congregation. We proclaim it, and so I want you to feel especially welcomed and cherished here at UUCA in all of your identities and who you are. So welcome. And this morning, we send our collective blessing towards our Associate Minister, Reverend E.N. Hill, who this weekend is joining a mighty force, a team of Black UU ministers who have gathered and marching in Selma, Alabama this weekend. Across that Edmund Pettus Bridge, you can see one of his photos. They are shedding light on the racist deconstruction of the Voting Rights Act, that act that seeks to fulfill the promise of American freedom and franchise. And so it's important to know that Black UU clergy are showing up and showing out. So stay tuned for what is to follow, because we will not go back. We welcome you today into an exploration of our annual worship theme, which, as you all know very well, is... Hey, somebody does know it. They might be staff. It's pilgrimage. That's what we've been mildly talking about for the year. Together today, we focus on the arrival portion of pilgrimage. We will wonder at the mysteries of those relationships that call us in and call us towards greater authenticity, which surely is a celebration of that soulful connection that we seek. All right, attention to all ye members of UUCA. Please join our congregational meeting today. It's a very special day. Our all congregational meeting today at 1:30 p.m. on Zoom Today, you will vote on your congregational covenant. You will hear the reports from the president of the board, the treasurer, and from the executive, that's me. We will meet on Zoom at 1:30, so please register at uca.org/annual-meeting. Can they also check their email to get something, or was that not true? Okay. Anyway, check your email as well. And bring your best internet self to our biannual community meeting. It's important. If you are visiting today, or you are still finding your way at UUCA, we invite you to join us for our Pathfinders class right after the service at 12:30 p.m. You can head upstairs to room 217, where today Janet Fulton and Kay Golan will be speaking about our lay ministry program and other sources of spiritual care offered at UUCA. Lunch and childcare are provided for all newcomers. We would love to have you with us in Pathfinders. And I want you to know that the gorgeous flowers you see today before me are in honor of both Jeannie Johnston Thomas and what would have been Bill and Jeannie Thomas's 43rd wedding anniversary on May 20th. We ask that you hold the family in love and light as they privately celebrate Jeannie's life tomorrow evening. And I would like at this time to welcome Michaela Decuteau, 7th grader, who is going to come and light our chalice this morning. And I forgot to do the pre-light. Okay. Please join Michaela and me in our chalice lighting words. May the light of this flame illuminate our tradition of seeking, invite all who yearn for acceptance, and ignite our passion for justice and peace.
Our story today is found in the Bible and told by Jesus, and it might be familiar to you. There once was a man who felt unseen, not unloved, not uncared for, just unseen. Everyone in his town knew who he was supposed to be, the responsible son's younger brother. The one who should settle down, the one who should follow the path already laid out for him. But inside, he felt restless for something more. So one day, he walked up to his father and he said something unheard of. "Father, I want my inheritance now." In Jesus' time, that was almost like saying to his father, "I wish you were already dead." So you can imagine how the village gasped when they heard. Surely he would punish the son for his disrespect. But instead, the father quietly divided his property and gave the younger son what he asked for, and the son left. He traveled far away, determined to become someone new. And at first, it felt wonderful. Freedom, adventure, no expectations, no one telling him who he had to be. And he spent the money carelessly. He made fast friends. He built this glittering version of himself. But eventually, what do you think happened? Yeah, I'm hearing all kinds of things. It felt hollow, yeah, and the money ran out. The friends disappeared, and famine came. So the young man found himself hungry, alone, and feeding pigs to survive. Now, this was especially humbling in Jesus' culture because pigs were considered the epitome of uncleanliness and even forbidden as a food by his own family. And so one night, sitting in the mud beside the pigs, he thought to himself, even the workers in my Father's house have enough to eat. Maybe I could go home. Not as a son, I've ruined that, but maybe as a servant? Now, here's the part of the story we often rush past. The son was not just afraid of punishment, he was afraid of being known. Afraid everyone back home would only see the old version of him, the selfish boy, the reckless child, the one who failed. Have you ever felt that way? That you would be judged by your mistakes? Anyone ever feel, yeah, we all have, right? Maybe you've changed, but people still treat you like you used to be. Maybe you've discovered something true about yourself, but you wonder if anyone else will really see it. So, the son rehearsed a speech all the way home. Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. He was working up that speech, right? But while he was still far off down the road, his father saw him, and his father ran. Now, an important detail, dignified older men in that culture did not run. Running meant lifting your robes and looking foolish, but the father did not care. He ran toward his child. Before his son could even finish his speech, the father wrapped him in embrace. The father welcomed him home, not because he was perfect or that the hurt had been erased, but because love could see beyond the failure to the person his son was becoming. In our lives, we are always becoming. We shed old versions of ourselves like caterpillars becoming butterflies. Sometimes others cannot yet see our wings. Sometimes we ourselves are still learning how to unfold them. But this story reminds us that love, at its best, does not trap us in who we once were. It says, I see you. I know you. And I welcome who you are becoming. Amen. 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 Yeah. So at this time, I would like to invite the Decato family to join me in leading this morning's movement prayer. And as they make their way to the chancel, I invite you to rise as you are willing and able and join us. First, we bow to honor the spirit of life. We lift our arms and embrace the gifts of spirit. We bring these gifts unto ourselves with gratitude and breathe and smile. We share these gifts with the world. We remember to be present, honor, embrace, gratitude, share, be present. Amen. Blessed be. So at this time, I would like to invite our children, 3rd grade and under, to exit and join preschool or their creative workshop for this morning. And the locations for these just down the hall on the 1st floor. And as our children recess, please take this opportunity to greet your neighbor, especially someone you haven't met.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle around to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle around to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle around to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
me has meant realizing not everyone will grow with you. As I've matured, I've had to accept that some friendships were only meant for certain seasons of my life. The people who once knew me as a less mature version of myself sometimes struggle to see the growth that has evolved into who I am now. They held on to old assumptions, old mistakes, or older versions of my personality, even when I was changing. Over time, I learned that growth often requires distance from environments and relationships that keep you stuck in old toxic cycles. Maturing taught me the importance of surrounding myself with people who recognize not only my past, but my present character, values, and faith. It can be painful to outgrow friendships, but it also creates space for healthier relationships and deeper understandings of yourself. Now I want to be known as someone who continues to grow with honesty and self-awareness, hoping people see me for the person I'm becoming as I continue to experience change in the future. I wonder how much more growth and wisdom life will bring, and how those changes will shape the person I'm becoming. Thank you.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Let us put hands on hearts. Feel the heartbeat, connection to life. Breathe in peace. Breathe out love. Say to yourself silently, I will love myself. I will love others. And this love can heal our world. At this time, we hear the joys and sorrows of this beloved congregation. I am sorry to share that longtime UUCA member Geraldine Lowry passed away peacefully early Thursday, May 14th, with her loving husband Paul and oldest son Bob by her side. Geraldine is fondly remembered here at UUCA for her years of service managing the kitchen at the Cliff Valley building, her Moravian mocha recipe, and offering and preparing food for so many events A memorial service will be announced at a later time. In the meantime, Paul would appreciate your emails, your cards, your calls, and texts of support. We send our love out to Amy Hobbs, who was hospitalized for sudden surgery this week and is now recovering. Amy would appreciate cards and emails of support and care. And if anyone would like to join a meal train for her family, please reach out to Amity Feaster Bab or to someone from the village. We send the strength of our love to Ron Davis, who has been diagnosed with metastatic prostate cancer. He is responding well to treatment and is in good spirits. He and Beth welcome your cards, texts, or emails. We send love out to Jules Rube, who is at home recovering from their recent top surgery. Jules welcomes your texts and cards of support and care during their recovery. We send healing energy and love toward Maury Freed, who has been in Piedmont Hospital since yesterday in the ICU. They are still running tests, and she would appreciate your prayers, your healing energy, and your thoughts, and she welcomes cards. We share the joy that after 21 days, John Johnson has been released from Grady Memorial Hospital after breaking his hip, and he is now at a rehab facility. John reported yesterday that the sun on my face feels swell. There is someone in your life in need of healing love today. Someone who you know to be suffering, someone who is struggling, who is ill, who is lonely. Hold their image in your mind. Write their name on the tablet of your heart. Speak their name out loud into this holy community now. May all beings find connection. May all people find comfort. May all of us find more ways to be more loving. Spirit of life, love eternal, we rest in holy gratitude. We surrender to a mystery beyond ourselves, asking forgiveness for our mistakes, those times when we have been too selfish or thoughtless. Breathing in and out, we offer and we receive grace. We forgive ourselves and we forgive each other. We begin again in love. Now let us calm our bodies and rest our minds. Once more, we take in a deep breath of peace, and we exhale love. We relax into this space that our intentions make sacred. We enter into the silence.
could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Oh, good afternoon. Are we in the afternoon yet? Is it still morning? Good morning. My name is Tony Stringer, and I'm honored to share a few words today on behalf of Nicholas House, UCA's Share the Plate partner this month. As many of you know, Nicholas House is an Atlanta organization helping families move from homelessness toward housing stability and long-term self-sufficiency. This morning, we'll share a brief video that tells part of Roshan's story. It's a reminder that behind every statistic is a real family carrying dreams, challenges, resilience, and hope. Nicholas House provides not only shelter and support, but pathways toward lasting transformation.
My daughter, she had gotten sick with an autoimmune disease called Kawasaki. Her body completely shut down. They had to bring her to a place, they had to give her blood transfusion to bring her back. I was working at this doctor's office for 12 years and I got laid off. I truly couldn't understand what was going on with me. I was doing right. I was living right. I was being committed, and I'm like, what do I do? One of the ladies at the church, she was connected with the Nicholas House, and it opened up family and us being together as one. When I went to the Nicholas House, I saw people helping and giving and totally reached out with food, clothes, just anything. I never, ever saw anything like that, ever in my life. People just feeding us and serving us because they felt like we was worthy. Nicholas House means family, structure, hope, trust, togetherness, resources, relationships, foundation. We had gotten supplies, underclothes, bedding, bus passes if we needed them, MARTA cards. We had a lot of self-development, teaching us how to do resumes for the ones who didn't know how to. We had the computer room, so you're able to research and do what's necessary to better yourself. I completed the program last month. I transitioned completely out. And I'm back being self-sufficient to doing what I need to do for me and my family.
Well, people don't have no home, you can just bring them to the Nicholas House to have a home there till you find a home.
As we receive today's offering, may we give generously in support of creating communities where every family has the opportunity not just to survive, but to truly thrive. The offering will now be given and gratefully received.
Show me where your darkness hides. You don't ever have to hide. Oh, you can be yourself. Yeah, you can be yourself. I feel your hidden river raging. I'm not asking you to change. Oh, you can be yourself. Yeah, you can be yourself. Say what you want, I don't care where it goes. If I'm gonna love you completely, you gotta let it all show. Who loves you better? Who can love you anymore? You can trust me completely. I'm just asking for you can be yourself. Yeah. You're my hero, you're my villain. I don't care who wins. Oh, you can be yourself. You can be yourself. I'm in love with all your pages. I don't want to see it end. Oh, you can be yourself. Yeah, you can be yourself. Say what you want, I don't care where it goes. Yes, I'm gonna love you completely. You gotta let it all show. Oh, loves you better. Who can love you anymore? Oh, you can trust me completely. I'm just asking for you can be yourself. Let me love you, no part I wouldn't touch. We fall down, we weaponize our words. No secret has the power to diminish your worth. Say that you want, I don't care where it goes. If I'm gonna love you completely, you gotta let it all show. Well, who loves you better? Who can love you anymore? You can trust me completely. I'm just asking for you to be yourself. You can be yourself. You can be yourself. You can be yourself.
Please join me in the dedication of the offering. To the work of this congregation, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action we call community, we dedicate our lives and these our offerings.
I love that you get to have him sing love songs to you too. It's really great. It's a great part of my life, so I'm happy to share that. You know, this season of graduations and life transitions, it just seemed like the right time to consider the end of the pilgrimage. You have gone through unspeakable change. You have been a witness to your own becoming, and yet you are far too recognizable. The writer Thomas Wolfe famously wrote in 1940, "You can't go home again. You can't go back home to your family, back home to your childhood, back home to a young person's dreams of glory and fame, back home to places in the country, back home to the old forms and systems of things which once seemed everlasting, but which are changing all the time, back home to the escapes of time and memory. You can't go home again." In certain ways, Woolf was writing allegorically about the changes that befell the nation in the 1930s after the stock market crash and the rise of fascism, the way American life transformed so quickly as to be unrecognizable. It is a parallel, I think, that we have experienced as a nation perhaps since the pandemic. But he was also pointing towards the personal transformations, those ways we come of age and continue to come of age throughout our entire lifespan, or the ways we choose to live differently or make that change that we have been planning undercover for quite some time in secret. And then for the graduate who returns home from college or away or abroad, having passed through a portal of experience, knowledge, and interaction, all proving and reproving your mundane adulthood, giving you adult tasks and the weight of responsibilities and worries in this economy. And still, your mom reminds you to take your plate to the sink before you had the chance to demonstrate that this is a thing you do already. Because you too are the proud owner of a plate, a table, a sink in your own home. Sometimes, yes, you have to fully escape the clutches of the known, your comfort place and comfort people, in order to shed a former skin, create your chrysalis, and become someone new. This is often the point of the outward pilgrimage, to set a course and then to set forth, leaving the comforts of the known path behind you in the rear view. Now, I have already shared a little bit about my own pilgrimage experience that I took over sabbatical. I set off on the Camino de Santiago on August 30th, 2025. I shared with you in a previous sermon my extreme lack of preparation for such a journey. I just started walking, y'all. It was crazy. A 15-day pilgrimage across the coast of northern Portugal, then up to coastal Spain, through a portion of Spain called Galicia, where they speak like a different type of Spanish, before hiking through the hills and mountains, finally towards the cathedral city of St. James, Santiago de Compostela. Now, as an act of faith for this journey, I placed my trust fully in the mystery, the unknown. The Camino de Santiago is a UNESCO World Heritage Pilgrimage Trail. It is kept up and cared for by an international corps of volunteers who keep up the trails. They paint yellow arrows with blue backgrounds, sometimes with a little yellow shell underneath, to point the way. And there are also tricksters along the way who graffiti other yellow arrows. So you must become specifically attentive to the exact shade and intricacies, like that shade of yellow. Is it really right? The intricacies of the signs calling you onward, pointing the way. Now, this attentiveness will come back around in a few minutes, so remember the attentiveness. As you go, passersby will say, Buen Camino, an open-ended greeting, also a blessing, also a message of solidarity from one pilgrim to another. We are travelers, we are not of this place. Occasionally, you will respond, sometimes through gritted teeth on a dreary and mysterious uphill climb, Buen Camino, not that fun. And then there is another saying that people might say to you along the way, or you might see it scrawled in graffiti on your path. Those are the words, Camino is life. I suppose every pilgrim has their own interpretation of that phrase, Camino is life. For me, this means that if we can open ourselves to this concept, Camino is life, we understand that we are always on a pilgrimage of sorts. Something within us is always emerging. Either it is emerging, or it is preparing, or it is in the middle of a journey, or it is a sense of arrival at a destination that maybe is known only to you. My particular Camino was filled with purpose and wonder, treasures and mystical encounters. I did return changed, but not in ways that would be noticeable. I returned to my same beloved family, beloved home, beloved congregation, but I did not want the circumstances of my life to remain as they had been, as they were, before my great adventure had transformed some critical inner parts of me. And I did not want to spend lots of sermons making great proclamations either. I tried to live my life by the words of the poet Mary Oliver, who wrote in her poem sometimes, "Instructions for living a life. Pay attention. Be astonished. Tell about it." To be a pilgrim on ancient worn paths of international travelers who have come seeking spiritual renewal, religious connection, sometimes with elation and fervor across continents, well, it is an epic journey, truly. One of my favorite encounters on the Camino was when I brushed elbows with the Order of Nuns of the Camino. They are not fake nuns, they are real nuns. They're in like blue habits. Their service is to be cheerleaders for the Camino. They walk the trails in perpetuity, back and forth and all around. I later learned they love to take selfies. They post them on their Instagram, all about their Camino sights and sounds. Their Instagram's very popular. And most of all, they'll cheer for you if you need a pick-me-up. I ran into them in a confusing cafe where the facilities were difficult to find and they were much needed, and so I was distracted, but I did remember thinking that they were the most hyped up, smiling, singing, laughing order of nuns I had ever seen. These nuns, well, they are like the clear voice of the divine that is always urging you and cheering you along on your own pilgrimage. Perhaps that is a voice, a relationship with spirit. Perhaps it is your own inner voice, or the voice of someone who nurtured you, who is joyfully celebrating your becoming someone new. At any rate, on the Camino, this is just a typical 10 a.m. mid-morning happening, that one of those things that transforms this from a simple hike into a full-throttled adventure. Instructions for living a life. Pay attention. Be astonished. Tell about it. The change took shape when I began to feel comfortable in any terrain, on any landscape, on boat or by land or by bus or by train, in any language, completely on my own in the world, and for the first time, completely at home in myself. I mean, even now, I am struggling to find the words to express to you how big of a deal that is, and how much it means to the person who I had been my whole life, the person who found comfort only when surrounded by others, who hungered for people to be around me at all times, who always felt slightly scared and threatened whenever she was on her own. I was more alone in the world than I had ever been before. But instead of feeling afraid and weighted down by the responsibility, instead of feeling suspicious of the world and under threat and wondering if everyone else was having a better time than me, this is a very real thing I deal with. It's called a FOMO. I just always want to know what you're having for dinner, so if you ever want to let me know, I'm very curious. But instead of feeling suspicious or under threat or lonely on the Camino on my own, I felt free. I returned to my ministry with that freedom, feeling less threats all around me, feeling a much stronger sense of self, at peace with being in solitude and alone with myself and all that is available to me in the inner world. These changes have manifested in my ministry, and I hope and pray they are noticed, even if it's just someone quizzically appraising me and saying, there's something different. Even that is enough. Now I ask you to really sit with this question, to think about it for yourself. What does it feel like to be truly seen and truly known for who you really are? Just rest in that question for a time. What does it feel like to be truly seen and truly known? This may be a challenging question. You may find that you have never had that experience of feeling fully seen and fully known, at least not yet. I invite you into another question. Who in your life has made you feel fully seen, has seen you for the real you? If a name arises quickly to the top of your mind, send that person a little thank you note in your imagination. They don't have to still be alive. Send them a little thank you note in your imagination. Some would call this a gratitude prayer. A prayer of thank you for seeing me and knowing who I really am. Now, a third and final question. When have you seen someone for who they wanted to be, how they wanted to be seen, rather than who you had seen them as before? I'll ask you that. We're turning it around, turning the relationship around. When have you seen someone for how they wanted to be seen, rather than who you had seen them as before? If we are open, curious, if we are humble before our relationships, then we can love at the pace of change. We can love each other through our changes. But at first, when someone we know or love goes through a great change, well, it can feel like a threat. Does that resonate with anyone? We wonder if we are being left behind. And we wonder if all that we had shared in the past, it feels devalued now. We might even grieve or mourn the loss of that little girl or little boy who we once loved so fiercely in their earlier phase. And we wonder, well, where did that love go? If the person transforms, if they transition toward another gender, for example, did that love that we had for their earlier other form just disappear? Or if our loved one changes in ways we don't fully understand, does that mean that they don't value what we had to offer them? You know, Ona mentioned releasing relationships that could no longer hold her or see her through her changes. I invited Ona up here to speak, to share a reflection with you, because she is a child of this congregation. And a few months ago, she actually became a full-fledged member of this congregation. And she, 2 weeks ago, sought me out after church, and she said, "Okay, Reverend Taryn, now that I'm a member, I am ready to lead and to serve on a committee. So could you help me think about which committee would be best for my leadership skills and my vision for this congregation?" So she was telling me and teaching me how to treat her now, no longer a child, right? But someone who has gone, and I said this in the first service, so she's okay with it. Someone who has gone through a transition and now wants to be seen on the other side for who she really is and what she has to offer. Sometimes, yes. And it is a gift of community when we can hold someone through their life transformations, when we can love them through it. So she referenced sometimes that part of the skin that we must shed in order to love ourselves into the one we are becoming. But what if as the loved one of someone who is trying to show us their changes, what if we don't want to be scrapped into the trash bin with the 1.0 version of that person we loved? What if we want to love them through their upgrades? Then how do we learn to love them? So now it's time for what James calls my listicle sermon. This is just a little list. It's only two things to remember. We find someone else we can grieve with. And friends, it is not the person who is making the change. So it is okay to express sorrow and loss for the earlier version of someone. In fact, it is healthy to process someone's growth and change in this way, to have grief about who they once were. Just don't do it with the person who is changing, but find another person with whom to share your grief and those feelings of loss. So that's the first thing. The second step is that loving requires your full attention. How could anyone fail to notice? The song asks. Yet they do. People fail to notice the miracle of loving all of the time. We have felt those failures in our own relationships. So stay attentive when someone is trying to tell you who they are. Stay attentive with wonder, even through the mundane. Notice the ways this person who you love is making new choices, taking different action, creating new paradigms, using new language for themselves, yes, and taking new tactics in their life. If you notice, then reflect your noticing out loud to them. Watch them smile and beam in the light of your noticing, in the ray of sun that is your reflection of their transformation. There's something different about you. Tell me more. This is the love of deep and abiding presence. And it requires your deep attention. This is how you demonstrate how deeply you are connected to another's soul. This is how you can love someone through past failures, past old narratives of brokenness, addiction, or alienation. And I have to say one more thing, which is that oftentimes the way of transformation, speaking of the mundane, is paved with paperwork. That is how you know you are transforming. Think about it. All the forms you have to fill out to get your diploma, your driver's license, your new career, your Medicare coverage, your marriage, your divorce, that's even more paperwork, your vote, your citizenship, my God, Your birth, well, maybe you didn't do that paperwork, but somebody did. Your gender transition, my goodness. Even death comes with paperwork. This is how our society honors the sacredness of a person's transformation, through the profane acts of paperwork. It is made real to us. Even in that epic pilgrimage of the Camino de Santiago, it did not end with me in the arms of the very sharp and bejeweled relics of St. James. No. The Finisterre, the journey's end, actually, it concluded with me standing in a line for 45 minutes, filling out paperwork to prove the length of my journey, and then I had to show it to a very business-like Canadian lady from behind a very high desk. I had to give it to her to show her my stamps and wait while she approved my journey. So you have to prove that you have actually journeyed over 100 kilometers. And then she asked me rather harshly, so how was your Camino? And also this was a question to prove that I had done it. I replied, it was much harder and more beautiful than I ever imagined it would be. To which she stamped a certificate, signed it, and said in a serious, business-like tone, congratulations, you have done a very hard and very beautiful thing. At which point, I burst into tears. You were the first people to see. I haven't taken this out since that day. So they gave you a scroll. I think you're supposed to put it on your wall or something, but I haven't done that to prove that you have done the Camino de Santiago. Paperwork. Paperwork is the threshold. It's one of those thresholds we have to pass through in order to transform ourselves and start a new version of our lives to be seen by the state. Now, not all thresholds are chosen, but they are all lovable if you want to love them or want to try. A further stamp of approval upon our newest upgrade. And for many, these stamps, whether they come from the state or another institution, they are a privilege. There is no one else in the world like you. You are wondrous. You are glorious, and you deserve a relationship and a place where you can be fully known and seen as you wish to be known. You are wondrous. You are glorious, and you deserve a love that invites you to see someone with new eyes, a love that asks and demands more of you. You too can be open to change, open for something wonderful to happen. I have faith in you, in your ability to love someone into who they are becoming, and to be loved into who you are becoming. At these times of transition and threshold, may we surrender to the mysteries of a love that demands full attention through the changes and transformations of our lives. And may we praise the love that demands more of us and believe ourselves ready for this great love beyond all imagining to call us into greater and deeper authentic truths. May it be so. Please rise.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It may be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
When love calls you in, when love asks more of you, more of your attention, more of your explanation, may you follow love's call. May you put your faith in love and let this love guide you through towards deeper, authentic connection made real. And may this authentic love bless your life.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, we know we will. It may be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, we know we will. Yes, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
All right, go out swaying, go in peace, go in love. 1:30, see you at 1:30 on Zoom.
As I am sending